Hello, everyone. So, I've been seeing a lot of shiny fails over the years, and I mean a lot of shiny fails that are just due to lack of preparation for your shiny hunts. And it makes me so sad to see people put in 3,000, 4,000 soft reset encounters into something just to kill it or for it to kill itself. So, I wanted to throw out some little things that I do every gen just to prepare myself for a shiny hunt, make sure I don't kill something that I don't want to kill, make sure that I set myself up in a way that when I do find something, no matter what happens, I'm not going to let that Pokemon die. So I just have some tips and tricks and stuff I want to go over. So first, you're going to want a team for shiny hunting. This is what I currently use in Gen 8. Every Pokemon has a role for the most part. I think the most important Pokemon for anyone is Trevenant. Trevenant was a staple in Gen 7 for SOS hunting because of his Harvest and Trick. And you could also use Alolan Executor, but you can no longer do that because Executor doesn't have Bestow anymore. They got rid of that ability. So Trevenant is really your only option. And you want to use Trevenant for the same reason as you did in Gen 7. You want to give it a Leppa Berry, you want it to have the harvest ability so that when a berry's consumed, it will automatically get it back. And you want Trick and Skill Swap. Trick, so you give the Leppa Berry to the opposing Pokemon, and Skill Swap so that they have harvest. That will ensure that that Pokemon never KOs itself. It will never happen. Well, I say never, but there's a very, very rare chance that it will not harvest the berry after enough turns. But you can almost guarantee that when you're soft resetting for something, if you give that Leppa Berry, you give that harvest to that Pokemon, it will never KO itself. And most of the shiny fails I see are because people don't do this. So you should really be utilizing Trevenant. He's an amazing Pokemon. The next thing you're gonna want to utilize is a Pokemon that's going to make your opposing Pokemon not be a threat to you. So one of the other worries is what if you get completely KO'd or wiped out, or it's just really hard to keep up with the Pokemon that you're fighting, or maybe you accidentally knock it out because you were trying to whittle its health down and you did too much damage than you thought you were going to. Pyukumuku totally obliterates that problem. So Pyukumuku, I have in its out ability. It would be better if you had his hidden ability or his other ability, which is Unaware. Unaware would be better for this, but my level 100 Pyukumuku never gets KO'd, so I don't usually worry about innards out. But what you want is you want Soak and you want Screech. Those two abilities are exactly what Pyukumuku is going to need. I have Recover in case he gets damaged. I can heal him up if I need to. I don't usually need Recover, and Toxic is a throwaway ability. I had this Pyukumuku for something else and I just never changed Toxic. It would be helpful if you went with something like Memento so that you could lower its attack and special attack, but what you want to do is at the very start of a fight, you can Soak, change it to Water, which is going to help with False Swipe. Very important is that a lot of rock types, steel types, false swiping them down tends to take a long time, especially Pokemon that have high defenses, which is where Screech comes in. You're going to Soak and you're going to Screech him down 3 times so that its defenses are all the way down. You're going to switch to Trevenant, give him the Leppa Berry and the Harvest, and then switch to your False Swiper to get him down. You don't have to worry about these, I bullet punched and KO'd Regirock because I forgot Superpower does a defense down, or I accidentally Ice Punched Registeel and he got knocked out because I didn't do calcs. But you don't have to worry about that because False Swipe will never kill the Pokemon. You just gotta make it so False Swipe doesn't take forever to work. So my False Swiper is Mew. Mew is actually a horrible False Swiper, I just want you to know, but I've used Mew for so long that I'm still using it. I have Mew with Thunder Wave, Trick, and False Swipe. Trick is sometimes I'll throw something on Mew like a Lepiberry maybe I can give, or there's been sometimes when you can give it safety goggles. If you give Mew safety goggles and you're doing a hunt that's in the hail, so this Pokemon is getting hit by ice over and over and over, you can trick the safety goggles to that shiny and it will never die to hail damage. And that's what I use Mew for as a False Swiper. And then I can Thunder Wave if I decide that Sleep is not the route I want to go for this shiny. I can utilize Thunder Wave with Mew, which is nice. And Mew has a lot of coverage with abilities, or with moves, I mean. So you can really cater Mew to what you need, which is why I like Mew, but at the same time, Mew's ability Synchronize is really horrible for shiny hunting, because if Mew gets poisoned, then your opponent's going to get poisoned too, and that's the worst. There's a solution to that actually with Pyukumuku. Pyukumuku has an ability called a move called Purify you can have. If you give Pyukumuku Purify, he can actually remove the poison from the enemy Pokemon. Purify it right off. It's probably one of the more useful things that he can do if a mistake happens. So I'll probably throw Purify on him for that rare time that Mew synchronizes poison on a shiny, but very rare to happen. And then I have my sleeper, which is Tangrowth. Tangrowth doesn't have Sport, he has Sleep Powder, so I gave him a accuracy boosting item, Wide Lens. I would probably recommend that you use a Spore Pokemon instead, because Spore is guaranteed and you won't waste as many turns. So if you're not doing the Lepiberry trick, you absolutely want a Spore Pokemon. You don't want to waste time with misses. The only Spore Pokemon in Gen 8 are Amoonguss, who has Effect Spore, which you don't want. You don't want Effect Spore. And then, let's see. I forget his name. Let's see here. It was, Shiinotic. Shiinotic is the other Spore Pokemon. He's a good one, but he can have Effect Spore too, and you don't want that. Illuminate is actually kind of useful for increasing the encounter rate of Pokemon. If you're doing wild hunts that you can't use, like a Harvest Pokemon or something, and Illuminate's always a good ability to have at the front of your party. But your False Swipe Pokemon can also swap depending on your needs as well. For example, Marowak is a Ghost type. If you have a Pokemon that is using normal type recoil moves, like, I don't know, Takedown or something of that nature, it doesn't affect Ghost type Pokemon. It's not going to work, and it's not going to do recoil damage in that case. So a Ghost type False Swiper like Marowak or Marshadow might actually be more useful. There's also Fairy types. If you're fighting a Pokemon that has Dragon type recoil moves, then maybe you're better off using a False Swiper like Magearna. Magearna's a Fairy type that's not going to take damage from Dragon type moves. So you really want to think about what you can utilize for your specific hunt so that you don't fail it. And Decidueye also, Ghost type, is not going to get hit by normal moves. He was pretty popular in Gen 7 as well as a False Swiper. But those are just some things to think about. I have a couple more useful Pokemon you might want to consider using for your shiny hunts. Yamper. You can always use Yamper to collect a Beast Ball if you're trying to catch something in a Beast Ball. I always throw Yamper out, throw my Beast Ball to try and get that chance, and then he'll pick it up. As long as he's not holding an item, he'll pick it up. So that's nice. Grimmsnarl, I just use him if I need an extra Thunder Wave or Reflect or something. You can use Quagsire if you're going up against a shiny Pokemon that will kill itself with Explosion or Self-Destruct. Damp is a really nice ability because it stops that completely. I do like Quagsire because of all the Damp Pokemon in Gen 8, he gets Yawn. I do think that Jellicent is probably the best Damp Pokemon in Gen 8, and I don't have one ready, but I think if you're going to go for a Damp Pokemon, Jellicent is definitely the way to go. He's got a lot more access to different moves that are way more useful. See, with Quagsire, I gave Eerie Impulse, so I can use him to kind of lower special attack if I need to. Yawn for sleep, recover, and then Liquidation if I need to use him to knock things out. Additionally, if you're going up with something that uses Memento, or maybe you're using something that does Memento and explosions, like Coughing. Coughing, the perfect Pokemon, Drifblim. You can imprison Memento and Explosion, or Memento self-destruct, and they won't be able to use it at all. I think Drifblim is probably one of the more useful Pokemon if you're going against something that has Memento or Explosion or self-destruct. So that's a really useful one. If you're going up with Pokemon that use a lot of water attacks, you can do Storm Drain or Lightning Rod with Rhydon to try and mitigate some of the things that those Pokemon do. You can always use a Clefable or a Cleffa for Cute Charm to try and get like a certain gender, like the Combi Hunt. If you're looking for a Combi that can turn into Vespiquen, you can do a male Cute Charm Pokemon like this Cleffa, and you'll just encounter far more female Pokemon than male Pokemon. Or if you use a female Clefable with Cute Charm, for example, you'll find far more male Pokemon than female Pokemon, which is really nice. But yeah, those are just some tips and tricks. If you can utilize some of these things so that you're not losing shiny Pokemon. I think the Trevenant, the Pyukumuku are really useful Pokemon. And then your False Swiper, your Sleeper. Think that you should think about having multiple False Swipers. There's one more False Swiper that's actually really useful I want to touch on, and that's Pangoro. Pangoro is not one of my favorite Pokemon, but Pangoro has an ability called Scrappy as his hidden ability. Scrappy lets you hit Ghost type Pokemon with normal and fighting moves and blocks Intimidate. So if you want to False Swipe a Ghost type Pokemon and not risk that, like, oh, I almost knocked it out or I did knock it out, Scrappy Pangoro is the one for you, because he can False Swipe any Ghost Pokemon, and there's not a lot of Pokemon that can do that. He was very popular. Well, I thought he was very useful, and I thought he was popular in Gen 7 for False Weapon Ghosts, but I didn't see a lot of people utilizing him. He's very good for that. So try and consider Pangoro as a False Swiper as well, and a Ghost type for Recoil Pokemon, or you can also utilize a Heal Pulse Pokemon if something has Recoil moves that you can't counter, or you can either try using a Heal Pulse Pokemon, try and heal it when it hurts itself, or you can, even better, try and imprison those moves. Imprison is one of the best abilities for Pokemon that are just using things that you need them to not use. But you probably want to get Harvest Leppa Berry set up, and then you want to imprison those moves. But yeah, those are all my tips and tricks, so please stop failing your shiny hunts. It makes me sad. I mean, it makes me sad, but I also really enjoy seeing them, because I'm like, why did you fail that? You just didn't have the right setup. But it'll be nicer for everyone if you just stop failing them. Just put in a little more preparation into your hunts is all. Alright, bye-bye.